Hey, how's it going, guys? This is George, VisionONE24. Welcome to a different angle on my workbench, and I gonna make this video in response to Caesar from Funky Blues Garage, where he asked the community if they can make a video on, how they got into model building. Well, my story is pretty similar to a lot of the guys who've already made videos and whatnot. It all started probably when I was 10, 12 years old, where my cousins, my older cousins, would build models and I was always into cars because of my dad. He was my biggest influence because he was a gearhead. So naturally, I became one as well. But my cousins would buy their models and whatnot. I had one cousin that lived with us for a while, so he would build them and leave them on top of the TV and all that stuff. And all I could do is just stare at them and admire them and whatnot. So naturally, when we would go to Bradley's or Kmart, where they would have models, this is, I was, like I said, 10, 12 years old. So somewhere in the 80s. And, so I would, instead of going to the toy section just for toys, I went straight to the models. And I would beg my mom to get me, at the time was $7 models, $7 or $8 at the most at Kmart. So my mom would give me the model and the model, and then the Cesars orange cement glue, that toxic thing. So I would start it off with just building them without paint and whatnot. And then later on, I would beg my mom to buy me, the Cesars little bottles, which I still got them here. These little enamels. So, later on, I started building them and then painting everything with those. And needless to say, it was a mess or whatnot, but it was a great experience and whatnot, and it was great. And probably when I was at right before a teenager, maybe around 13, I had a cousin of mine. Her husband was into models, real big model cars. So I went to his house, to their house, and in his basement, he will build models, and he had like a huge stash, and he would he will be airbrushing and all that stuff, and I was just like, wow, this is like, he was like a professional. All his stuff came out flawless or whatnot. So since he saw I was real interested, he brought me to NNL East back in like early 90s, when probably NNL East it wasn't in Wayne, New Jersey. It was back in when it was in Parsippany, New Jersey. So it was a smaller venue. And, so soon as when I got into NNL East, I was just blown away. Just looking at the models and the tables, and I couldn't believe the quality, the paint jobs, and all this aftermarket stuff. And that's when I started getting wind of going to hobby stores and getting aftermarket parts little by little. And then, lo and behold, then I became a teenager. So next thing you know, I went to high school, and you know where that leads to. I had my license. So I had first I had my license. I went and bought my car, and then just like Ryan said, that I guess I thought that models weren't cool no more. So I stopped buying models and I just started working, you know, getting into, it was my car and girls and work. That was my life. Then so then I didn't have no models no more and whatnot. I stopped, and then you know, I had my first child with my previous uh, at my early 20s. So I didn't get back into the hobby to probably, let's say, 8 years ago. Um, now fast forward now to now this internet, eBay, and all that stuff. So I saw a video that somebody posted it on Facebook of you know, some a bunch of models that were displayed from a show, and I was like blown. I couldn't believe the models that were out now at that time and whatnot. So then that led me to going into YouTube, and I started. That's when I saw Fast Jimmy, Dr. Cranky, CT, and little by little I started watching these guys' videos, and then after that, you know, during that time, I started going into model car forums and getting into it there. And then once I got back into it, I started buying models, and then I on eBay I started finding aftermarket parts, and then the collection started growing. And next thing you know, from model car forums, I met some of the guys from my club now, and which was a great thing because now we have a model car club because of it. And you know, so now you know, now it led me to even go outside the state to go to model car shows. So that's when I went to Atlanta Acme show, and that's when I started seeing all my heroes from YouTube. You know, CT and Freddie from H-Town and Dr. Cranky, and I met Pappy there, and Tom Rambler 69, great modeler, great guy, and his models are awesome. So I met all these guys, and you know, I got into, I met CT, was super cool guy, and hung out with him and Freddie those 2 days I was there, and they pushed me to start a YouTube channel, and because of their push, thanks to those guys and Dr. Cranky and all those guys who pushed me to get my YouTube channel, now I have an extended family with this modeling community. I met Mr. Mini Dreams. Me and him are like best friends, even though he's all the way in Missouri. And you know, I'm glad that I got back into it, and with, you know, all the tips and videos and stuff that you share, just makes this more a better hobby than it ever was. And I'm looking forward to, you know, doing this forever now. You know, I have a big passion for it, and you know, I owe it a lot to you guys in the YouTube modeling community. Chip, Chevy Cheeseburger. I mean, I could go on. Rick Zink, great guys. Benny Fubar. I mean, I could go on and on. You guys are all like my extended family, and I appreciate all you guys' input, and you know, you guys make this community great. And pretty much that's my story. So you know, I like to see more and more you guys put videos up because it's interesting. And stay tuned for more videos. I got updates coming up. I got projects that I want to show you guys what I'm up to lately. So stay tuned, and thanks again.